here with Jason and Matt,
Hello.
showing us their new plugin. What you got?
That's correct. So this is going to be a new brand for us. We're actually the founders of Soundtrack Loops, but we're branching off into designing and our own new VSTs. And this is the first VST under our new brand, which will be called Array Sounds. And the VST itself is called Double Scoop. It's not just a VST, I should say. This is a virtual instrument, but it is also going to be available as an audio unit for Mac as well. And what Double Scoop is, it's a basically a two-voice rompler with kind of basic FM features here to modulate the samples. And we sourced a lot of our own personal boutique and vintage synths to sample for the presets. And what you have here in the main screen is the ability to adjust your ADSR. You can use the LFO to modulate filter, amp, pitch. You can sync or free trigger that. You've got the different waveform shapes for the LFO. And there's the FM section here, and then at the bottom there's a filter section with the 4 different filter types. There's also, in the effects screen, you've got a wave shaper, saturation, reverb, and delay. The reverb has a freeze mode, so you can do freeze reverb. And this is all MIDI mappable. So if you want, you can have the freeze verb on-off assigned to a button on your controller, and you can use that to create some cool drones as well. So then over here we have the, let's see here, settings page. And so it's pretty simple. There's 3 different pages really to the whole synth. And over here you can adjust your pitch bend settings, glide, and then you can have a keyboard split for the 2 voices and set the start and end, where you want that to split on your keyboard. So the concept is basically stacking the 2 sampled sides or voices that are loaded with samples that we've sampled ourselves in our studios, and you sort of stack those and blend them in different ways. You can create different combinations. You can use LFO to modulate FM to change and modulate the sample, and you can come up with some really interesting chill out lo-fi type keys and pads, and that's kind of the overall sound. It's kind of a chill keys, kind of chill synth, if you will.
Yeah, let's hear some of it.
Okay. So under the presets, let's go under the presets for a second. We can start here. This one's called 70s synth. Okay, that's 70s synth.
So what are we hearing there? You said you sampled a number of your own.
Right, so this could be a combination of possibly my CZ101 and maybe one of Matt's analog Electron synths, or there might even be a Lyra 8 in some of these, which is a really cool kind of droney synth. And we did a lot of different sound design, things with different synths in our own studios. So right here, you might actually just be hearing a couple stacked CZ101 samples. But I ran it through some hardware as well. So it's not just the CZ101. You've got some third dimension kind of, I forget the Clark Technique third dimension. It's actually a really cool effect based on the original style BBD or whatever that was called. But and it's affordable. So, but I ran my CZ through it, and I was like, wow, this sounds really awesome, really pops. So I sampled some of that through for this particular product. I sampled that through the Clark Techniques, and
let's hear some more of that.
Okay, so on each side you have your 2 voices, right? So you can access them here from this window, which is great. You don't have to go in and out of this to choose. So if I wanted to create my own, I could say I want Island Smoothie on 1, and then on voice 2, Twin Peaks. Okay, so now I'm just creating sort of a random thing here. And what would that sound like? Well, right? And then this big knob in the middle. You have to have a big knob, right? Let's see. To kind of dial in, where you want the mix for those two.
Is that like mixing between the two?
It is. Yeah, okay. It is. And so you can also make the voice mono or polyphonic on per voice here. You can also reverse one. You can, right, your start point. I think I need 2 fingers to do that on the mouse, but this will be like your start point for the sample. And then for reverse, you can mess with that too, because that's where the sound.
So you can manipulate at least a little bit, maybe the sample itself.
Right, totally. And then the beautiful thing about that is, in that regard, you can also add this FM down here to modulate that sample as well. And so, like, change the octave. Can you hear that? I don't know if so you can dial in a really nice.
And you're doing that through FM.
Right. Yeah. And it's just I think just a sine wave in there for the FM, but and so basically, that's the thing. It's really just good for chill out keys and chill lo-fi kind of study beats, melodies that you might want to put in like a study beat session or whatever. Maybe even like a lo-fi trap or a melodic trap or some R&B. Yeah. So. Mm-hmm. Oh, we did sample a Rhodes. Yes, that's true. We have another set of samples in here. Let's see. So let's go to the Rhodes. This was where is it? Oh yeah, I'll show you that in a minute. Where is that? That was under Vintage EP, I think. Here it is. Oh, here it is. Vintage EP. So this is actually a Rhodes. A buddy of mine has. I think he said he had a 76 or whatever. Let's see. So now you got a Rhodes that you can dial in as well and layer. And there's some glide on the Rhodes actually, so that's kind of neat. We can turn the glide off. And one thing I wanted to do was so you have 1 scoop and 2 scoops. So 2 scoops is layering and stacking the 2 voices. Under 1 scoop, the concept here that I had was I put a vinyl noise on one side. So there's going to be vinyl noise on every preset that you can dial in. So if you want, you can just dial in a little vinyl noise and give it that kind of crunchy, lo-fi vinyl effect. And that's with all the presets in the 1 scoop. So all these will have that ability, and they're all set up for you. You just dial it in, vinyl noise. Okay, so you get a little bit of that kind of lo-fi vinyl noise effect. That's on mono. So we made that mono so that you wouldn't have the vinyl sample stacking on top of itself when you play a chord. So that's why I asked for to have that one voice, or actually to have that option where you can turn that voice into mono or polyphonic per voice.
Got it.
For certain sound design tricks that you might want to pull off there. And so that kind of...
Yeah, because you don't want 8 notes of vinyl noise playing.
Right, exactly. So that's why I asked for that ability. So we put that in there as well, just for that one purpose. But, sky's the limit. I mean, you can do whatever you want. And I think that's pretty much it in the nutshell. Hope I didn't talk
let's
to you.
hear some more of it. Play. That's the best thing.
Sure. Oh, the freeze reverb's cool. Now let's go to...
Yeah, you can demo that a little.
Let's go back to double scoop, and we'll go to one of Matt's cool dark drone. Okay, so dark drone's like going to sound like this. And then go ahead and freeze it. Okay, and now I'm not holding down any keys, right? And you can do a drone. Kind of jam over that. You kind of have an instant ambient soundscape that you can, sound bed or whatever that you can throw into any mix right there. So.
And then can you adjust the level of that? Because that's just the reverb, right?
Right.
So you could adjust.
You should be able to dial. Let's see. Sorry. turn that off. The wet dry.
Oh, okay. So that's how you.
Yeah. Or adjust.
It's just sort of the mix.
Yeah. And then turn it off, and then it kind of fades out.
And then you said you can map that so you're not having to touch a mouse or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. So you can have that as like a button on your controller. So while you're playing, that'll just boom, freeze, instant ambient drone. Play over that, and it's that simple. All these parameters are MIDI assignable, MIDI mappable. So any one of these knobs you can have, assigned to your controller.
Yeah.
Let's see, what else do we have? What else would be cool? So that's that.
It's a very simple, streamlined interface, and it's just that's the whole idea behind it, is not make it too complex, just to jump right into it, right?
That's correct. Yep, totally. Just something simple and to the point that will always work when you're just looking for that really chill, cool melody sound for your next melody. We want a double scoop to be that kind of go-to instrument for that purpose. But you could dive in and probably create some other aggressive
Go
sounds.
deeper.
Yeah, and you could get aggressive with it using the saturation and distortions and things like that. Mm-hmm.
What kind of availability, pricing things are you looking at?
So it's cool. I'm really thankful that we got to show you guys this now, because we're still building. The app works and everything's functional, and but we're still building the installer for it, and we have to code sign and get everything approved with Apple. So it might not be until January of next year. That's kind of what we're shooting for, right? Probably January 2023. And as far as like the price goes, I'm thinking it might be $19.99, but always on sale for $9.99. Right? I don't know.
$29.99, always on sale for $10.
Right. We want to make it affordable.
I mean, that's almost a no-brainer.
Right.
Yeah.
$10, $20.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We definitely want to make it affordable. And then what we plan on doing is, and we already started, is new preset packs for it that we can send out to people who own it on a regular basis. Maybe every like 3-4 months, you get an extra like 20-30 new presets that you can load it.
You're going to do more samples?
And then eventually in version 2, we'll expand the samples and maybe even give the ability to load your own samples.
Yeah, I was going to ask. So
Yeah.
right now it's just what you have, but potentially...
This is version 1. We have plans to
Save your
expand
own
it.
presets.
Mm-hmm.
So you can definitely save.
So you can save the presets, but you can't load your own samples at
Correct.
this point.
Not yet. We're hoping for version 2, then we'll be able to do that.
Yeah.
So we just kind of want to throw this out there and see how it does, and then if it's if people like it, then we can start working on new features and
What's great about it is it's all hardware based.
Yeah. I can't hear Matt as well because we don't
Okay.
have him mic'd, unfortunately.
That's okay.
It's all hard. What
He's saying-
you said,
It's all hardware based.
the samples are all from
right, all
hardware
sourced
synthesizers.
from, actual synths and
Yeah.
things. So that's pretty
Play
much
us-
it in a
play-
nutshell.
Play some more here.
Let's see, what else do we have? That was Dream Piano. Here's something old film. What does that sound like? It's interesting. We've got, let's see, Strummy Plex. I don't know what that is. And then you could, like I said, dial that in more.
Are these all mappable, MIDI mappable?
Yeah, totally. So let's go into some ghostly pads. I think that sounds cool. Ghostly pads. Lo-fi pads. And then again, there's the MIDI CC. Did you see that pop up? Learn MIDI.
Oh, yeah.
And so it's that easy. You just kind of right click on it. You can assign and learn the MIDI CC there.
Play that one low.
Let's go down here.
So that you can freeze that.
Yep. Let's just freeze like a D. Let's see. Oops, I should do it while it's playing. Crank up the wet. Oops. Sorry, I'm on a Mac, so the touchpad's a little different. What is it doing? Crank up that wet, so now that's droning, right? Let's do it one more time. There we go. Yeah, and then you can turn the volume up a little bit. Man, this touchpad's bugging. So I think I have the effect pretty loud there with the wet mix, so that's probably what's happening. Sorry, that's this trackpad. It's there we go. So yeah, that's lo-fi pads. And anyway, yeah, there's a lot. I mean, there's a lot of potential there, I think, and it's a kind of a fun, easy instrument to dive in and kind of, make your own presets without having to have a whole lot of knowledge about programming and sound design and synthesizers. It's kind of designed that way on purpose. So I don't know. I hope people like it.
Oh, I like the way it sounds.
Oh, cool. Thanks.
All right.
Appreciate that.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thank you.